In this video, we have two contesters. We have a 5-inch mass-stop Cassegrain telescope, which is basically just a 5-inch telescope, the Celestron Nexstar 127 SLT. And we also have an 8-inch Schmidt Cassegrain telescope, which is basically a Celestron C8 telescope. These two telescopes I use to photograph the planet Jupiter, and I'll show you the results towards the end of the video, so stick around for the results. The Celestron Nexstar 127 SLT is a great scope for beginners. It's a great scope to get into the realm of astrophotography, and you can take some pretty good planet photos with it. The 8-inch telescope, the Celestron C8, is also a great beginner's telescope, but it's also $1,300, which is a lot more expensive than the $700 5-inch. Obviously, the main impact of what these scopes are actually going to get result-wise is seeing, because if you don't have good seeing, regardless of what aperture size you have in the scope realm, it's not going to come out great. Your images are just going to look kind of blurry, fuzzy, or whatever you want to call it. Mainly because the seeing isn't that great, or if you're miscollimated, etc. Although a lot of astrophotographers say that an 8-inch telescope is literally the bare minimum to do astrophotography or planetary imaging with. Mainly because an 8-inch telescope can get enough resolution to see most of the details, whereas a 5-inch telescope, well, you can't get all of the details because of the low resolution. And you're about to see that in these upcoming images. Alright, are we ready to give the results already? Here's the result. Here's my result with the 5-inch 127 SLT. First of all, this is a pretty good image in my opinion. It's not that bad for a 5-inch telescope. This was with decent seeing, pretty good seeing, I think, and it actually looked pretty good. I mean, this is pretty good with an ASI 178mm monochrome camera with filters. I think this didn't turn out bad. So yeah, I think I can tell, like, you can see the red spot, you can see quite a bit of details, smaller details, but it's very pixelated. That's the only problem. Now, is it worth it for a beginner? Well, I'd say maybe you should go ahead and spend the extra bucks on a C8, and here's why. Here is my image of Jupiter with the Celestron C8 telescope. This was a lot better in my opinion, about the same kind of seeing. Obviously, there's a lot more details. You can see quite a bit more. Now, if I had an 11-inch, I'd be able to tell you how to compare that to an 8-inch, but seeing is one of the most important things. If you don't have good seeing, collimation, focus, stuff like that, processing skills, you're really not going to get a good image like you hoped, regardless of what kind of scope you have. So I would say maybe if you wanted to, you could buy a cheaper scope to start with and gain up your skills on the harder to learn instrument. And then the more you progress in this hobby and learn about things, then you can upgrade to like an instrument such as C8 or C11, C14, etc. But that is basically the difference between a 5-inch and 8-inch scope. If you want to see how much potential though an 8-inch telescope has, I have a video right here to show you exactly how much potential an 8-inch telescope has, even against like an 11 or 14-inch. So if you want to see that video, make sure to check it out. It's right here. Anyways, until next time, clear skies.